everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Well, we finally got some parts in here for the service truck. This is the airbag setup that I went with. It's made by Airlift. It's a load lifter 5000, 2 airbags, all the brackets. If you watched the last video, talked about a little bit about the situation, what I'm up against here. I'll try to drop something down in the description, explain a little bit more about this. I think this runs from 99 to 2004, I believe, F250 Super Duty F350. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's going to be a little how-to video, if you will, with the circumstances that I'm up against with the gooseneck hitch, the type that's in here. It's not factory, kind of homemade, if you will. So we'll see how much fabrication we've got to do and bring you guys along for it. Video might get long, so hopefully you'll stay tuned and be interested. Like always, if you've ever got any questions about anything, don't hesitate dropping it down in the comments, or my email's in the about section. You can shoot me an email and I'll answer any questions best I can. But this is definitely going to be a learning experience for me, and hopefully it'll help somebody along a little bit in the future. Okay, if you want to pause the video here, the kit number is 57390. Fits 99 to 2004 Ford F250 and 350 Super Duties. Open this up here, give you a little bit better breakdown. Maybe you can pause that. This is the design frame rail. There's the step piece, I'll show you that. This piece here is actually, we use the side of the bed here as an example. This is going to go on the back side of the frame rail like so, and it drops down below, and then the 2 legs there actually bolt to the bottom plate that holds the airbag. And I was looking through here just now, it actually, this kit, because the hole was at 3/4 on the frame, so I was wondering about that because it says no drilling. This says 3/4 bolt or 1/2 inch, so actually that is only a 1/2 inch bolt that goes through the frame. So this might work out to my advantage yet, I'm not real sure. But anyway, there's the kit. 2 airbags, miscellaneous hardware, airlines. Of course, here's the step brackets that go inside the frame. Got the cups for the airbags themselves, and then here are all the brackets that go with it. So like I said, I'll try to do the best I can, getting footage on it, explain it as we go. These 2 pieces here are what will be the major fabrication, if there is much at all now. I don't understand that. Like I said, a big hole here, and they give you these really thick washers that go over that hole. So I mean, all it does is just keep it sandwiched to the frame, like I said in the other video. So let's see what we can do, get you set up and get some of this tore apart and get it on the truck and get started. All right, we're on the passenger side just because everything's out of the way. I want to show you guys this bracket that we're talking about. So normally this bracket would go right on the frame there where those 3 bolts are, which is aftermarket hitch accessory basically. But that would bolt right up. You'd put the 1/2 inch bolt in with a washer, and then everything else bolts underneath it. So basically what I'm going to do is have to take this bolt out and this bolt out. I'll utilize this. It's a 1/2 inch already. That's what they sent with the kit. We'll bolt it just like it normally would be bolted, and then I'll take you outside and show you what I'm going to do to compensate for these 2 bolts not being back in the hitch. Okay, real quick to explain the problem that I had or am having with the airbags and this homemade plate. This is a 1 inch thick side plate. It goes up. There's 4 1/2 inch bolts that bolt it to the top plate, and of course these 3 are through the frame. I just showed you that on the other clip. So we will utilize this bolt just like normal for the airbags. That's not an issue. I'll take these 2 out. That won't make me have to do anything with the back bracket. It'll bolt up just like normal. There's an indentation in the frame right here where this is. It flares back out over here. It flares out over there. So what I'll do is come up here and put me a real thick plate above these bolts, come over and attach it to the frame here and attach it to the frame there. That'll give me the stability back of these 2, and then I will weld it solid here, underneath, and down this side, and that'll be plenty. That's more welding than I've ever had on a gooseneck hitch, not counting it being bolted through the frame. So this isn't going to be as bad as what I thought. So like I said, this is a home built hitch. I'm sure none of you are going to run across it probably, but this is why I went with the ones that bolt on the inside of the frame. Sorry about the lighting. The first thing I want you to do is remove these bump stop blocks. They have a name for it, jounce or jaunts or something. I don't know, never heard them called that. But anyway, bump stops, 15 millimeter stud. Having to use a ratchet wrench because my socket won't go on due to those 3 bolts there holding my hitch on. So, you know, it is what it is, guys. I hate that I'm having to do a little bit of fabrication, but we'll make it work. So we'll get both of these disassembled and taken off, and then we'll start removing these 1/2-inch bolts and getting that top bracket on. Okay, we got the 2 side bolts out of the hitch plate there, and we've got the bracket in there. I put the supplied 3-inch 1/2-inch grade 8 bolts in. I went ahead and used 2 washers on there just to take up a little bit of space. We're going to leave this loose for right now until we get the bottom, sorry about the exhaust, everything bolted up and in here. We'll get it all loose, and then you go back and tighten everything up. I did figure out something that I've been telling you guys wrong on. It does not go on the rear end housing. It actually sits on these shoes that come off of the lifting blocks on the truck. Basically the same design, but the only thing I don't like about it is the side bolts here. But anyway, all right, let me get the assembly together. I'm just going to bring you along for one side. This video is probably going to get long anyway, so we'll get the assembly put together up here, bring it down here, mock everything up, get all the bolts started like they need to be, and then we'll start tightening everything up. All right, I didn't bring you along for every step. Directions are okay. That was really only the negative reviews about these airbags for the directions. I like pictures, don't do good with words, OCD. Figured it out. Basically, you stick a couple of bolts in before you put the top plate on. Got to put the air fitting in. There's 1 bolt, where is it? That'll go in external, so you have to put 2 of them in beforehand. We're going to go ahead and torque these down to 20 foot-pounds on the top here. I've got the bottom ones torqued up. And then basically the assembly's ready. We get it underneath the truck and start setting it on the brackets. So let me get these torqued up, and I'll take you back under the truck here in a minute. Like I said, I'm going to do one side at a time. There are differences the way the mounting holes are, so definitely keep them separated. Left here, driver's side, right, passenger side. But not too bad so far. They say 2 to 3 hours. Probably take me a little bit longer reading the directions, but it is what it is. I know the lighting stinks under here. Let me get the, see if that makes any difference. You can see it a little better there. That spacer I referenced earlier on the bump stop, they send you new ones. They've got 3 different ones in there. So I guess this kit, I guess there's subtle changes between the year models. This being a 2000. I just use the old spacers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I'll utilize those new ones for something else. But we've got the long carriage bolt in the bracket assembly in there, got the nylock nut on it. I've got the rear end all the way down, so they want you to pick the assembly up like so, and get the carriage bolt started just where it'll hold it there. And then we're going to go ahead and bolt everything else up. I think I've got to raise the rear end housing up just a little bit. Once I get the airbags in there, I had to let them all the way down, let the rear end all the way down to be able to get it started. So I'm going to try to get a few more bolts in here. I'm not sure that I can show you a completed side tonight. I may just have to bring you back tomorrow. But let me see what I can do here about getting some more bolts started. Okay, well, once again, the lighting's bad. I don't even know if you can see that one or not. There it is, tucked over there behind the exhaust pipe. Got this one here. I got all the lines rigged up. Everything tied back up out of the way. See if I can move this light without jerking you guys around too much. And we ended up running the hoses up there in the bottom of my box. I'll show you here in just a second for right now, and I'll explain a little bit more. Okay, there's the 2 air ports here. The front one goes to the driver's side, rear one goes to the passenger side. I was going to put these on a gauge and adjustable valve and mount a little tank up under here so I could adjust them going down the road, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I need to get this truck out of here and get the trailer in, so you know, if I ever decide to do that, I'll definitely bring you along to show you. But for right now, basically what you do, pump each one of them up, just check it with a tire gauge, get them even. You know, they're split because if you need to pump up one side a little bit more than the other, you can. So let's see what happens. I'll try to get you guys set up. I'm gonna get the tires and wheels back on it, get it on the ground, and see what kind of difference this makes. Okay, what we've got is about 5 inches of clearance from the top of the tire to the top of the fender well. It's the same on the other side. The bags are completely empty. Minimum you need to keep 5 pounds in them, maximum 100 pounds. So let's see what a few pounds does. I've got to get me a new air gauge. This one doesn't quite fit. Alright, let's check that. You can see we gained quite a bit of fender clearance, so that is that's about 21 pounds on the driver's side. We got a little bit more on the other side. We got about 30 in the passenger side, so let's put 30 in this one. A little bit more, 25. That was the happy medium that I understood most of the reviews, which that's with a regular truck, was 30 pounds. Alright, we got right at 30 in that one. Right at 30 in that one. So let's see how much we gained as far as clearance. Right at 2 inches. Alright, let's bounce on it and see what happens. Doesn't seem to squat it very much. Alright. Well, there it is installed. It looks just like they say it's supposed to. It's got just a little bit of a lean to it, but say that's the nature of it. So that's what I say. I think I ended up putting 30 on one side and 40 in the other. I'll tell you why in just a second. Alright guys, we're going to wrap this one up and call it good on the airbag installation on 2000 Ford F250 Super Duty. Video didn't turn out at all like I wanted it to. I had plans of doing more hands-on with during the nut and bolt and explaining a lot more, but you know how I get long-winded anyway. It's probably a good thing. But between the bad lighting and camera angles and the fact that my knees and back just don't work good anymore getting up off the creeper, it just did not turn out well as far as trying to do a video. I probably got about 3.5 hours in it, mainly just trial and error on some of the directions and some of the hitch bolts. We were able to get 2 bolts back in the hitch on each side, so I'm only missing 1/2 inch bolt from what I had, which I like. So I just weld a little bit more than what I needed to. I don't have to worry about building that bracket like I said in the beginning of the video or anything like that. So pretty pleased with that. Left them separated. They come separated. I was going to put them together as one unit. I was like, why do you want the airbags different, you know, pressures? But I think I have a weak spring, weaker than the other. Driver's side's got 40 pounds in it now. Passenger side's got 30. And the fender well clearance is the same, and the tools are pretty much evened out. I mean, the air compressor and everything's in the center. I mean, I got the reels on the other side, but I've got as much carpentry stuff over here to equal out the weight. So I think I've just got a weak spring. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, get this truck out of the shop, try to get the trailer around here. Not sure when you'll be watching this, but it might be a little bit of a lapse in the video. I've spent a lot of time on the truck here over the last couple of days doing some things, and I haven't had a chance to do much else. So if you see this one and there's a little bit of a time frame in between, just give me a little bit of time. We'll get that trailer around here and see if we can get started on it. So if anybody's still here, I really appreciate it. If you got any questions or anything, hit me up in the comments, email, whatever. I'll answer the best I can. All in all, it was a very good project. Can do it in a couple hours, no big deal. If the hitch wasn't in the way, the home built hitch, I mean, they give you the bolts and everything for different style hitches that are in it, whether it be fifth wheel or BMW or whatever. But you know, this being home built is a little bit different. So anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate that. Thank you for continuing to follow on the journey with me here. I think this will be the last major project on the service truck for a while. I'm getting kind of burnt out on working on it over the last month or two, but it's pretty much ready like I wanted it to be. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. Thank you everybody. Until next time.